لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك.
في المدينة
محمد نبينا بنور هدينا محمد نبينا بنور هدينا.
The leadership of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria (NAHCON) gave a briefing to the Nigerian Governors Forum on reforms being implemented by the Commission as well as the preparations being made for the 2017 Hajj. NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar explains more.
To us, they are very important stakeholders because the pilgrims mostly comes under the Pilgrims Welfare Board and agencies of the state, and the governors have been playing a very wonderful supportive role in terms of the general administration of Hajj in this country, in the way of funding, in the way of guidance, in the way of medical and other related supports. And we feel it is a right engagement, especially now that the Commission has bring a lot of new reforms that will be value added to the activities of the Hajj. And they were adequately briefed. They asked questions, we gave them answers. They commend us where we deserve commendation, and they advise us where they feel is appropriate to give us advice.
The governors pledged to collaborate with NAHCON and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for a hitch-free Hajj, advising the Commission to look into the existing agreement of air carriers and renegotiate the benefit accruing to all stakeholders.
We all agree also on how to go about implementation of certain agreements that are already in place, particularly the agreement between Nigeria and Saudi Arabia on the issue of Hajj traffic sharing under for the pilgrims of for the pilgrims registers under government quota. And also this has been done in such a way that, or it will be done in such a way that both parties will have a fair and better deal.
The bilateral air service agreement BASA signed in February 2015 provides for a gradual compliance by Nigeria to the Saudi laws, part of which requires Nigeria giving 25% of its pilgrims in 2015 to Saudi Airlines, 35% in 2016, 45% in 2017, and then rises to 50% from 2018. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria (NAHCON) has fixed the 24th of July as a tentative date for the commencement of airlifting operations of Nigerian pilgrims to Saudi Arabia. NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar says the Commission will arrive at a definite date during its stakeholders meeting early July.
Annually, the Commission prepares calendar of events, and that is in our calendar of events. But the final dates for the actual commencement will be agreed upon when we do conduct, when we have the stakeholders meeting. The stakeholders meeting will come, inshallah, immediately after Ramadan. So at that stakeholders meeting, we will assess the level of preparedness and decide which date are we going to hold on to and where will the inaugural flight be.
In an effort to widen the scope of its reforms, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria (NAHCON) has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Jaiz Bank. The MOU makes Jaiz Bank the official banker of NAHCON for the collection of Hajj fares for 2017 and the Hadaya or animal sacrifice. Speaking shortly after the ceremony, NAHCON Commissioner of Policy, Planning, Management and Finance Alhaji Yusuf Adebayo, who represented the Commission, expressed the hope that the bank will discharge this responsibility with commitment. In his remarks, Managing Director of Jaiz Bank Alhaji Hassan Usman appreciates NAHCON for the confidence reposed on the bank, assuring them that the bank is ready to carry out the assignment as agreed in the MOU. Staff of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON have been urged to actively participate in repositioning the Commission for effective and sustainable service delivery in Hajj management. The suggestion was made in a paper presented by a World Bank consultant, Mr. Tayo Kayode, at the ongoing in-house training being organized by NAHCON. The paper titled, NAHCON, Laying Solid Foundation for Excellent Hajj Management in Nigeria, Issues, Challenges and Critical Success Factors, focused on the needs to adopt up-to-date strategies in Hajj operations.
This is the time to show leadership. There cannot be any other time that you have to show that, yes, we are all in it together and you know what we want. When we're talking of leadership, please mark it. It's different from leader. Leadership can come from within and can come from without. Leaders will always reside within an organization. And mark you, that leader might just be a manager of people, not a leader. We're going to define all these things and define it proactively. What we're looking forward to is a situation where we're going to take leadership from our own points. Every desk that has things to offer will do what is essential. Therefore, we expect you to be proactive in responding to this turbulent challenge.
The lecturer says the success of every organization lies in the pursuance of its mission and vision, as well as providing effective leadership. Participants at the training made comments on the issues discussed.
Are we really doing this job for the sake of Allah? Are we really mindful of His guests? Are we sure we're not competing or indeed abjugating our responsibility to Allah, to our own mundane self-interests? Questions left to us to answer.
Your paper also mentioned some areas that affect us directly or indirectly. Teamwork. Nobody is an island. We look inwardly to ourselves, we see people who normally keep things to their chest. What will you benefit when you retire and there is nobody to show that this is somebody I've coached? I mean, you're there is as useless as not being there.
Setups, different organizations.
Speaking earlier, Chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON, Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar, called on staff of the commission to take advantage of the in-house training organized by NAHCON to enhance their capacity. Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar says Hajj management is so strategic and requires the involvement of all stakeholders.
You will see Hajj from a different perspective than you people normally see it as insiders. And you know, sometimes you can be an insider, but at the same time a blind man, because you don't see very well. You are beclothed, your vision has been protected with your own thinking. But you need an external person to tell you, no, why don't you look at it differently?
He then appreciated the lecturer for sharing his experience with NAHCON.
For the first time, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria introduced a national medical team. This was in 2016, and the concept is in line with the rules and regulations set by Saudi Arabia. The idea was also meant to bring some sanity and efficiency into the healthcare services for Nigerian pilgrims while in Saudi Arabia. Chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar, explains more on this.
Why do we insist it must be a national? Because even the Saudi government clearly mentioned and warned that they will no longer accept seeing proliferation of so-called clinics in various pilgrims accommodation of Nigerians. You go to a particular state, you will see clear sticker, so state hospital, not even a clinic. so state clinic. And they take pictures. We go to meeting with the authorities there, they sometimes confront us with some of these details. In your country, is it how you register clinic or hospital? You just go get sticker and then put, this is a hospital, you designate place to be a hospital. Is it what you do in your country?
The Saudi government has put in place surveillance and response system to monitor clinics operating during the Hajj.
The clinics and hospitals to be used for Hajj by any country has to be licensed by the Saudi Ministry of Health. And they are ready, willing to cooperate with us to license as many as we want, provided it will come, the request will come from the federal government of Nigeria. That's why we communicate to the states that since the Saudis have won, they are the host authority. We have no option but to comply with their rules and regulations.
Coupled with this was the challenge of having uncoordinated and blotted medical personnel from the states.
Previously, we were operating 37+1 medical teams. What it means is that the federal government goes to the federal medical team and each state or the federation goes its own medical team. That is not economical, that is not cost effective, and that's tantamount to actually waste of human resource as well as waste of the economy of our country. Now, look at it from this perspective. Each state goes with a team of medical team, doctors, nurses, pharmacists. At the federal medical team, we equally go with doctors, nurses, and pharmacists. By the time you put together the entire 37+1, if not 38+1, you'll be having over 2,000 to 3,000 medical teams, which is even more than the state pilgrims in some states or the federation.
Hajj being an exercise that brings together people of diverse backgrounds across the world, the Saudi government, in collaboration with global health organizations, set out specific health guidelines for all countries. Apart from complying with Saudi regulations, NAHCON's rationale for the national medical team is to have improved coordination and harmonization of all Hajj medical services for the benefit of pilgrims. Visions of moving towards what is considered global best practices, a resilient, cost-effective and responsive medical team that is able to meet the health needs of all pilgrims from Nigeria. The new policy was first put to practice during the 2016 Hajj. The implementation of the policy required all stakeholders coming together to make the idea succeed, and this was roundly commended, especially by the Saudi government.
The Saudis became very happy with us. They have extended hands of friendship to us as a country. They want us to work together now. They want us to embark on research together because we now have one national team. Nigeria is such an important country in the Committee of Nations when it comes to Hajj. And coming from the tropical country, Nigeria represents the entire black world. So if you are conducting any research regarding medical as in relation to Hajj, if you pick samples from Nigeria, it represents the entire black nations across the world. That is one of the partnerships that we are now doing with the Saudi Arabia.
Towards improving on these, NAHCON took some measures, among which is to hear the views of stakeholders about the concept.
Our target is, forget about whatever you say, even if you are going to criticize us. What we want is constructive criticism. I don't take criticism as anything personal or as an insult, but as a wake-up call for you to do the right thing. So if you have anything you believe we need to know on how to improve the medical services, please feel free to let us know.
Besides, NAHCON also constituted an interagency committee to review the performance of the 2016 National Medical Team, discuss and address all observed challenges, concerns and misconceptions that emanated from the 2016 operations, agree on modalities for a joint conduct of the 2017 operations and beyond, and draw up a working timeline. With 2017 Hajj at hand, the Commission, in one of its meetings with zonal coordinators, agreed to purchase new ambulances to be used at departure points nationwide.
We should be able to have stretchers, both the auto and the manual stretcher. In case somebody arrives, he can lie down and they can push, and the one that they can just quickly put him down and lift. So at least we should have also tutu in all the departure centers. And I'm sure there is nothing wrong if we work towards even procuring ambulance, right? In all the departure centers. And we charge the Hajj development levy. We procure the ambulance. We have ambulances standby in all the departure centers. They use the ambulance for the outbound and they use it for the inbound.
These reforms being introduced by NAHCON also affect the mode of drug procurement. The Commission now has concluded plans to procure over 80% of drugs from Nigeria, unlike in the past when the drugs were purchased in Saudi Arabia.
This year, we are buying 80% of our drugs in Nigeria, and we are giving priority, high priority, to made in Nigerian pharmaceutical products. We have discussed with the Saudis and they have agreed. We shall ship our drugs long before Hajj into the kingdom. Of course, there are some drugs that require refrigeration and certain temperature and certain preservative processes. Those ones we can't afford to buy them here until we get to the kingdom of Saudi Arabia for us to buy.
As the medical service is being reformed, with the medical team particularly in focus, it is the consensus of Hajj officials that states will provide 60% of members of the national medical team, while NAHCON gives the remaining 40%. On Hajj Talk tonight, we focus on the things an intending pilgrim is expected to do before setting out to perform the Hajj. Our guide is Sheikh Tajuddin Adigun of Wuse 3 Central Mosque, Abuja. He begins by providing insight on the concept of Hajj as a pillar of Islam.
Hajj is a pillar among the 5 pillars of Islam, which means no Muslim can escape Hajj as a pillar, except those who don't have the means. And Hajj is an act of worship that exists only in Mecca. All other 4 pillars of Islam can be performed and executed successfully in any part of the world except Hajj. Hajj is so special among the 5 pillars that you have no place to perform it except in Mecca and its environment.
Therefore, for persons planning to perform the Hajj, Islam has laid out the conditions to be met.
The condition number 1, he must be a Muslim. Also, he must be matured. Of course, an immature Muslim can go, like a child of 10, 20, 10, 5, 2 even, at the back of his mother can go on Hajj. But he did not perform the real pillar of Hajj. So that's why scholars used to say a matured Muslim. Number 1 Muslim, and that Muslim must be matured. Also, a Muslim that is intellectually balanced. A mad person should not go and Hajj. Of course, on his way, he may be beating others. He may go and cause actually act of atrocities and misbehavior. So it must be a sound person, somebody actually who is sensing. Also, Hajj must be performed by somebody who is healthy. Somebody who is sick, disqualified by doctors not to perform Hajj, should not go on Hajj. And also, he must have the means materially. It's a condition. When you don't have the means, then it is not compulsory on you.
Of these conditions, there are those that are peculiar to women.
For a woman, with all the conditions fulfilled, there must be a mahram, which may be either her husband, which is more preferred if she's married. If she's not and matured, then her father, her senior brother, her consanguine brother, that's her brother, or full brother, Jamaican brother. All these are her brothers that can actually take charge and be her mahram. Her uncle can be her mahram. Her maternal and paternal uncle can be her mahram. Her grandfather, if healthy, can be her mahram. So this actually make it peculiar to a woman.
Having met these conditions, intending pilgrims are also expected to prepare themselves spiritually and intellectually so as to earn the reward of Hajj.
you must prepare spiritually, because you want to earn reward. Al-Hajj al-Mabrur laysa lahu al-jaza illa al-Jannah. A successful Hajj that is called Mabrur has no reward except the Al-Jannah, the paradise. So you must prepare spiritually so as to earn this. Number one in your preparation, make sure your iman is firm and your consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is high.
In addition, Sheikh Tajuddin Muhammad stresses that seeking Allah's forgiveness and reconciliation with one another are also part of the spiritual preparations.
You must repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of all your evil deeds and promise that you will never go back to it. This is a resolution you must take if you want to embark on a successful Hajj. These are all spiritual. Also, make sure you reconcile with others. Now you have reconciled with Allah by Tawbah. Any human being, whether Muslim, whether non-Muslim, that you know you have cheated, you have to reconcile by seeking for his forgiveness.
Talking about the material aspect of the preparations, Sheikh Tajuddin says intending pilgrims must make sure they settle debts and also do not leave their families short of money, among other things.
If there is debt, ad-dainu musiba. If you have debt, it's a calamity. Settle that debt before you go. So make sure the money you are going to use is from a pure source, not from robbery, either pen robbery or gun robbery or whatsoever type of robbery we know. It should be from halal source, your own sweat. Number two, financial preparation. You must make sure that your family extended are actually recognized and taken care of.
One important issue that is always emphasized when talking about Hajj relates to sponsorship of pilgrims, where the sponsors do not take care of other needs of the people they are sponsoring for Hajj.
To those who are sponsoring Hajj, please don't sponsor a poor person that you cannot take care of his immediate need in absentia. It's better you give him the money of Hajj. Let him do Hajj with the money. Your reward is bigger than him going to Hajj. Because his going to Hajj is a maslaha khasa, while giving him the money to take care of himself and his extended and immediate family is a maslaha amma, and you have more reward because your money will go into benefit of others.
Considering the fact that Hajj rites are wide, Sheikh Tajuddin advises those who are educating intending pilgrims to focus more on the four obligatory parts of Hajj, which are ihram or intention, staying at Arafat, tawaf, and work between Safa and Marwa.
What I will advise instructors to focus on, they should focus only on the four pillars. Only on the four pillars. Because other things can be managed. If a pilgrim misses any of the four, he has missed his Hajj. If a pilgrim is successful to perform these four things, all other things can be managed.
I don't know what the Commission is doing this year to prevent.
How often has the National Hajj Commission embarked?
How can they make it more comfortable? At the national level, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria,
there are 6 days in which the Hajj rites are performed.
So we are putting in place mechanism to ensure that on each flight, at least we should have, as much as possible, the medical personnel to accompany the pilgrims.
From 2007, gone. This problem is gone.
And what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said is this Hajj is compulsory at least once in a lifetime.
Our first message comes from Hassan Ibrahim with a GSM number 0706 940 5419. What are the new plans being adopted by NAHCON for pilgrims' education and orientation?
Very soon we are working on how to reach out to the pilgrims through their phone, through their handsets, so that at every level there will be alert to them on a message that this is what is going to happen, this is what we are expected to do, this is how we are going to do, and so on and so forth. So we are not leaving any chance, any opportunity we have to educate the pilgrims. We try to grasp, we try to go to it.
Mariam Yaro with GSM number 0806-739-5864 sends in a second message, which reads, "What is NAHCON doing to ensure effective service delivery from its staff?"
The chairman felt that how are we going to have a capacity building for our staff? He initiated a weekly presentation of paper to be organized by the admin department, which is my department. And then today is the 4th series of the paper presentation we are doing. You are a living witness. We are there when the commissioner in charge of policy, personnel management and finance did present his paper on quality management and service delivery, a well-researched paper. So honestly, we are on course, and I wouldn't say, apart from training organization that has to do with NAHCON, CMD and others, there is no best training other than this one initiated by the chairman.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك